There are some cocktails that have a lot of variation, and this is one of them. I'm Brian Johnson, and in this episode of Better Cocktails at Home, we're going to be making the Corpse Survivor #1. Now, the Corpse Survivor group of cocktails was an early 1920s. They first appear, I think, in the Savoy cocktail book by Harry Craddock in 1930. Now, the #1 has 3 simple ingredients. It's got brandy, apple brandy, and sweet vermouth. Now, why it's called the #1 is because there are other variations of the same drink with actually vastly different ingredients. So they just kept the same name and added sequential numbering. So the name is actually kind of interesting because it gets the name from Corpse Survivor because this is just a really old, what they call hair of the dog drink, where supposedly it's supposed to cure your hangover basically and revive your corpse. So what I liked about this one is that in the Savoy cocktail book, he actually wrote that the Corpse Survivor #1 should be taken before 11 a.m. or whenever steam and energy are needed. So, well, it's not before 11 a.m. right now, but I can always use some steam and energy, so let's make the Corpse Survivor #1. It's actually a pretty simple drink. It uses 2 ounces of brandy. In this case, I'm using cognac. Either one works, but, you know, kind of see what you have in your cabinet. So we do 2 ounces. And add that to our mixing glass. We do 1 ounce of apple brandy. It actually calls for Applejack, but I have apple brandy on hand, and it's actually a better quality ingredient than Applejack, so I'm going to use apple brandy. And we do 1 ounce of apple brandy. And then it calls for sweet vermouth. And in this case, I'm going to use Dolin rouge. It's a nice sweet vermouth. I really like it. So if you have it in your store, I'd recommend trying it out. We do 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. And we add that to our mixing glass. Now, you may remember, because all of our ingredients are clear, this will be a drink that's actually stirred. And if you look in the Savoy cocktail book, it actually calls for it to be shaken. But proper technique dictates it really should be a stirred drink because all the ingredients are clear. And we want to add lots of ice. Don't be stingy. And then just stir it. I want to stir about 20 seconds, get nice and cold. It takes longer than shaking. And then once you're done, take your strainer, in this case I'm using a julep strainer, and strain it into your cocktail glass. Now, this is one of those cocktails that's quite strong, as all the ingredients are alcohol or no non-alcoholic ingredients, so it's quite strong. If you're a beginning drinker, this is maybe what you'd consider an advanced drink, just because it is strong and very spirit forward. I really like it. It's really interesting. It's got some good flavors. So my question to you is, because Harry Craddock referred to this as something that should be drank before 11 a.m., do you believe in hair of the dog tricks? Is this a cocktail you'd ever drink before 11 a.m.? That's what I want to know. And that's how you make the Corpse Survivor #1.